is exactly what I will do with puppies. Is when they're loose, I am not going to say, I know you know how to handle the situation while we have the adults are talking. I need to engage the puppy so that she's learning what we consider socially appropriate behaviors, but she goes like, "Ooh, that so works for me." So again, she's doing your puppy typical sort of scavenging on the floor.
Right.
As long as there's no ant traps down there, she can do some cleaning. Hi, girlie. But what I'm doing is I've got a quiet handful of her food here, and I'm just reaching down at odd intervals and handing her some pieces of kibble. This is a good way for her to eat her lunch. But what she's doing is she's learning from this. She's a couple things. One is I'm managing her behavior choices. She is free, she is off leash, she's in control of her total space. She can make many choices that she wishes to. But what I'm doing is I'm looking to manage those choices by making it highly rewarding for her to choose behaviors that are in close proximity to me. The ones that are really working are any of the stationary behaviors. So she's quietly, she went from a stand to a sit. She went from a sit to a down. She's now just quietly watching. And so while, we're talking and having a discussion about stuff, I'm just quietly reinforcing her. And she goes, "This really works.
Exactly.
I lie here and you feed me. I like this." So what she's actually learning to do in a broader scheme of things is what to do when people are standing around.
Oh, okay.
As opposed to, again, keep in mind, this is a little Energizer bunny. And her brain is ticking over at a constantly high rate right now.
Yeah.
It's constantly about acquiring new information. It's about exploring stuff. It's about figuring out what works better. How can I tweak what I've already learned? What can I get into? And so again, this brain is geared to this rapid experimentation. And so I want to capitalize on that. I also want to manage it to a certain extent, because by capitalize on it, I want to recognize that, yes, you're at a very special developmental stage right now. And your brain is really very plastic. And I want to encourage that plasticity. And I want to start building some concepts for you that you go like, yeah, those are great ways to handle. And so you see what's happened is she's done some food work with me where I've reinforced her for, standing, then sitting, then lying down, just checking in with me. And now she's had some food, she got herself a drink of water, she explored the floor a bit. She's now physically and mentally tired because she was making choices about, how do I make you reach down and pain me again? The other thing that's happening here is she does know that I still got some food in my hand. Partly because of the way my hand is positioned, but their noses are good enough that she does recognize that that is a possibility. But because I'm just very quietly delivering it down to her space, she goes, "This energetically is like the best way to do it, because I don't have to expend a lot of energy, and it kind of works." Because there's nothing preventing her from leaping around, spinning in circles, jumping, barking, carrying on. But her brain is going like, let's use an economy of behavior and figure out, good girl, what works for us. So she's free to get up and move around. But this type of thing is helping guide her choices. Aside from the fact, what are we building? We're building sit. We're building down. We're building the concept of patience. We're building basically a stay or a wait, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And so this is what I call these foundations in training. I call it FIT. So I'm not big on making the dog behave, but I am big on recognizing them behaving.
Okay.
And interacting that in a way which they go, works for me.
Okay, so a question that you remind me of is we've talked about the heels, but having some food and diverting it to food or something else.
Yeah.
And it could be a ball that I have with me.
Yeah.
That you just throw the ball out but doing that diversion.
Yeah, so part of it, so there's two ways to look at it. One is you're diverting her attention. The other way is you're looking to specifically drive her choices.
Okay.
So she's going to make choices based on the fact that she goes, that pays much better than that.
yeah.
That one's more enjoyable. That that has a good payout. It's a nice economy of behavior. You don't have to do an awful lot of effort